What is going on, everybody? It's your boy PTK Blam back in the building with another video. And no, this is not the Shop Podcast. This is actually a standalone video, and we got a very special video that I got lined up for you guys. You guys know I've been planning different things. It's 2023. We're trying to get new content up on the channel. And so before we get into this very special segment, hit the subscribe button, like if you guys haven't already. I greatly appreciate you guys' continued support on the podcast and on the channel. Make sure you leave comments on the videos. All of that's appreciated. It helps the algorithm, all of that good stuff. Follow me on Twitter. All of that good stuff will be down in the description as well. But I have a very special guest with me. As you guys can see the title of this video, we're doing a little something different, going a little bit outside of the box. So I had to go get my best friend, the person that means the most to me in this entire world. So I'm going to introduce you guys to Mrs. Blam. Hi, baby.
Hi, how are you doing?
I'm good. So everybody, this is Mrs. Blam.
Hey.
And, I'm going to give her the rundown today. We gamers, it's important. And I wanted to do something different too. Like, a lot of us, the people that watch my content, are married or in relationships or have girlfriends, boyfriends, whatever the case may be. So it's always cool to get things from the other perspective. So that's really what the video is about. I'm using my wife as a guinea pig. I bless her heart. I love her so much. She allows me to do this. But we're going to run it through the gauntlet a little bit. Not going to do too much. I'm not going to put her through the fifth degree. But we're going to do a little bit. Check her Carfax. Make sure she's authorized. And then we'll move forward. But appreciate you guys once again. This is going to be very fun. Hit the like button. Subscribe. So you ready, baby?
Yes, I'm ready.
You ready? Okay. Awesome. So
putting my feet to the fire like you be doing Pong and Fuzz now.
Hey, shout out to Pong, shout out to Fuzz. Those are my guys.
Those guys.
You guys know. All right, so I'm gonna run down a few quick questions with wifey here, okay? So you guys help me out here in chat, not chat. Sorry, I think I'm on a podcast. You guys help me out here in the comment section as well. So first things first, babe. We got to start at the beginning, okay?
Yes.
What made you fall in love with video games? Like, where'd you start at?
Oh man. Honestly, like, video games have always just been a huge part of my life. I remember being a little girl and having Atari and having Nintendo, but I fell in love with Nintendo. I absolutely, and I know this sounds like typical, but I fell in love with Nintendo. I love Super Mario Brothers. Like, that just was the overall start of my love for video games.
That was the first.
That was the first, like, physical game that I fell in love with.
Okay.
I mean, literally putting the cartridges in and having to blow them. And
the OG stuff.
Yes,
See, guys,
yes.
Wifey, see, we checking the Carfax. You only know about that if you're an OG gamer. So 1 point for Wifey. She's an OG gamer. You guys know I'm a Sega kid, but that didn't happen till later. I did have a Nintendo first, but so you had just a regular NES.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Awesome.
That was the first system that I fell in love with. We had Atari before that, and obviously I was playing PC games, but I mean, even PC games wasn't like what it is now.
Yeah.
So, that's where I first, fell in love.
Okay. And so after Mario, what would be your next favorite game? What else did you enjoy playing on the NES?
Oh man, I'm not gonna even lie to you.
Or just in general, it don't have to be the
Hunt.
NES. Duck Hunt.
Duck
Oh
Hunt
yeah.
with the gun controller.
Yeah.
Oh man, I thought I was a shit. I really thought I knew what I was doing.
Well, Duck Hunt was extremely fun. I mean, Duck Hunt was a classic, and it used to come on the same cartridge as Super Mario Brothers.
Yes.
It was Duck Hunt / Super Mario Brothers on one cartridge. So remember that, you guys. If you're a little older, you might remember that. But yeah, so that's a great game. You had the gun too.
Yes, that's where I discovered I had no aim.
Oh yeah. So to be fair, the tracking on that was very rudimentary. That was some low level tracking at the time. The tech was brand new, so it wasn't very good. I used to aim all off the screen and everything.
I used to think I was lining it up to hit it, and it was off the screen, and I'm like, it's over there.
Yeah.
So, but I figured it out over time.
Awesome. Okay.
Yeah.
So, all right. So NES once again. NES. Okay. What other systems did you have along the way?
Oh man. So, like I said, Atari, and then NES, and then I had, my next favorite was a Game Boy, the handheld Game Boy.
Okay.
Oh my god, I played so many different games on that. And then it went to Sega Genesis, to what was the next one that we had? Dreamcast, Nintendo 64.
Yeah. Oh,
I mean,
okay.
just down the line.
So yeah, you really were a Nintendo kid, and you guys had a lot of. Although
Yes.
you mentioned you had Sega as well along the way. So
Yes.
shout out to Sega. You know all the Sega kids out there. But okay, so Wifey, as you guys can see, has an extensive gaming background. So literally, I hit the jackpot. So we gonna move on to the next question. So I already asked you about the first console that you own, and your favorite game of all time. You said was Mario Brothers / Duck Hunt. That's awesome as well. Now I wanted to get into a more of a kind of just the other side of gaming, especially when it comes to, like I said earlier, a lot of us are in relationships, a lot of us may be older. What do you think about dating a gamer? Like, how does that, for you personally, your experience, what do you think? Like, what do you think that is?
Oh man, dating a
What
gamer.
advice would you give?
Dating a gamer. What I would say for the women is to have a lot of patience. It is a hobby. It is something that, your significant other, whether it's male or female, they can enjoy. It can get a little frustrating at times.
Fair, that's fair.
It can get a little frustrating at times, especially when you want attention or you're just not, as immersed in video games, as your partner. So I would say just be a little bit more patient and even try to take interest in the games that they're playing.
True.
It can be a little hard at first because you want somebody to teach you how to play, but you really have to just jump in and kind of figure it out on your own.
Okay.
So my advice would be to the people out there who don't play video games that have a partner, try it for yourself.
That's a good idea. A lot of people don't do that. They get in a relationship and, they're with someone, whether guy or girl, who's already playing video games, and it's that difficult because it's like going cold turkey. That you got to ease your way into it, and you got to do that on your time when you're ready. It's hard to do it when somebody else they're already neck deep or knee deep in the video games, right?
Right. Because I remember back at a time when Call of Duty first came out.
I was playing a lot of that.
A lot of it, okay? And I was like, remember I asked you a few times, like, babe, will you teach me how to play? Will you teach me how to play? And you're like, well, I can't really teach you. You're going to have to learn on your own.
I just gave you the controller, or the other controller, yeah.
And it wasn't until I picked up the controller that I really had learned how to, fully fall in love with those kinds of games.
That's true.
And fully understand, why you were so immersed into that and why I felt like it was taking away from us. And it wasn't taking away from us. It was just a video game that you really loved and you enjoyed. So I would suggest, just jumping in, learning how to play. If it's not something that you're into, that's fine, but don't give your partner a hard time about it because it's something that they enjoy and you always want to see your partner happy. So
awesome, and that's great advice too. And it's hard. So to be fair, it's harder in practice than it is in person because the theory sounds like it's easy, but if you're just not interested, that's okay. You know what I mean? But try it, give it a try, ease your way into it. The one thing about video games that I realize is that there's a video game out there for everybody. You could be 5 years old all the way up to 65. There's something out there to play. There's a different system. There's PC. There's handheld. There's console. There's a different experience out there for everybody. So I do agree, especially now. And I don't know if you want to go over that a little bit too, like the games you play now, the stuff that you're into on your Switch.
Yeah, because it's completely changed. It went from, like I said, from Mario to Duck Hunt to a few other games along the way. But now, I've discovered just in the last couple of years that I'm really into cozy games. Yeah. I love cozy games. I love games that are action adventure, simulators. Like farming simulators. You like
shooters too.
Yes, I love looter shooters.
Looter shooters, yeah.
Looter shooters are my favorite. Anything where I can go and open a chest and get something new, that's super exciting for me every time. So the Division 1 and 2 are like the first games I stood in line for.
Fun fact, the Division, the reason I fell in love with Division is because of my wife. It wasn't me who fell in love with the game. She made me go stand in line for Division 1 because she was so interested in the game. And the same thing happened with Division 2. We bought the collector's, I believe it was a collector's edition or the highest edition you could buy because she was that interested. And I just happened to fall into it because of her. So once again, we stood in the cold for the first stood in the cold, yeah. I remember that. Right outside of GameStop together, huddling up with a bunch of other people standing in line. It was one of the last times we've ever done that.
Yes.
And that was a few years ago. So she's responsible. Shout out to Fuzz for my Division addiction. if we're being truthful about this, and that's what this is for. So shout out to everybody listening. But ultimately, we're not going to run this too long, but ultimately, what would be the best advice from a woman's perspective? Like, I know you mentioned it from a relationship perspective, but just from a woman's perspective, what would you say if they wanted to get into video games? Like, if they were, it just independently, not, regarding their husband or boyfriend or anything, what would you suggest?
I would say just jump into it. Figure out which console works best for you, or which one looks a little bit more interesting. I would start with like a Switch or something that's handheld, because I know with us ladies, we're not going to think to go right away, especially if you're new to video games, turning on a system, turning on a controller, because you don't really, know how to really deal with the hardware. So I would get something handheld first, honestly, like a Switch or a Switch Lite, and go from there. And find one or two games that you're interested in, something simple, because jumping into something hard may, cause you to lose interest right away. So just jumping into something simple, something handheld.
Awesome. So great conversation. Once again, this is just a quick hitter, and I appreciate you guys. This is something that we might do. If you guys really enjoy this, we might bring Mrs. Bland back all the time and do different segments, so you never know. So you see she's excited about it. I'm excited about it. But once again, I appreciate you guys listening. You have anything you want to say before we wrap this up, babe?
Thank you guys for listening. Thanks for having me. I know I don't poke my head into the channel too often, but sometimes I'm in the chat. Y'all just don't know that I'm there.
Lurking.
I'm a heavy lurker. But thanks for having me, guys. For real.
Awesome. But once again, I appreciate you guys. Once again, hit subscribe, hit the like button if you guys haven't already. I love new ideas, so hit me up. DMs are always open on Twitter. Follow me there. Hit me up on Xbox Live too if you guys want to hang out, play some games. And once again, if you guys want to see this again, hit the like button. Tell the algorithm these are the kind of videos you guys want to see for sure. But I will catch you guys on the flip side. Peace out, everybody.